let me start by welcoming Director David West. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Bishop. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And happy Republic Day to everybody in Trinidad and Tobago. And I wish the country all the best and prosperity in the future going forward.
Thank you very much, and the same happy anniversary to you. You came along this morning, not alone, but you brought somebody who's making big bucks. And he said, no, nobody said that. He is the head of IT down there, or at least in the IT department. Mr. Nandlal, that's Ramlal Nandlal, is that right?
Nandlal, thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us. Nice to have you here this morning. I'm going to have some questions to you in a short while. I want to start with the director himself. Mr. Director, you have looked at the situation before we get to this app that is there, that everybody's excited about. You're excited. I'm happy about it because of what it does, and I'm sure our listeners will be happy. But just before we get there, the elephant in the room across Trinidad and Tobago at the table this morning is the whole question of A&V, oil and gas. What does it have to do with the PCA? Well, the allegation is that one police officer, abused someone who was there doing his journalistic duties. Now, the only part of this that involves Mr. West is the report I heard that your department was going to look into the question as to whether or not there are charges to be pursued here. Has a decision been made in that area?
Yes, there has been a decision made. I consulted with the deputy director, and we have agreed that we will initiate an investigation into that matter. That was since last week, Wednesday. So the PCA is on top of it, and we will make our recommendations, if any, in due course to the necessary stakeholders.
The PCA, in case you folks are not familiar with it, is the Police Complaints Authority. And we have done this before, but I will ask him in 30 seconds or thereabouts to synopsisize to our listeners the function and the purpose of the PCA, please, sir.
Quite simply, the PCA is a civilian oversight body looking into three areas of police actions, that is criminal offenses involving police officers, police corruption, and serious police misconduct. So that is what you call our remit. So we look into that, and we have an investigative team, we have a legal team, and then once the investigators do their work, we send a report to the legal team who looks at it, makes a recommendation, and then the authority, which is comprised of the deputy director and myself, will review the report and decide whether or not criminal action has ensued, and we send the matter to the DPP. If it's a serious police misconduct, we send it to the Commissioner of Police to view.
So, folks, you understand? There is some question about something you have seen, some behavior you have been witness to, some grievance that you may have against a police officer. The Police Complaints Authority is there for you. Hitherto, what you do is you make a phone call, you talk to folks down there, which leads us to the reason for us being here, simplifying that reporting method. Mr. Director, explain to me, you've got a PCA app. Explain to our listeners, what is that about?
Well, I'm very excited, and that this app is going to come on stream. This is what we've been working for, to make complaints easier. So what it is, on Friday the 29th of September, the PCA is going to launch its smartphone mobile application app. This mobile app is the first of its kind in the region, and quite possibly internationally, for a civilian oversight body to have. I recently went to a conference in North America, where I briefly spoke to some of my colleagues about it, and they were very excited about it because they have never heard about it. They never thought about that the app could be used in that way. So in an effort to make the process simple and more convenient, the PCA sought to provide a digital alternative to its already existing mode of complaints. Citizens can now be the eyes and ears of the PCA by creating and submitting reports directly in real time from their mobile devices to the Police Complaints Authority.
Oh, good.
So the PCA mobile app, it boasts several features designed to enhance the user's experience. So, for example, users will receive the latest updates regarding PCA news and releases in real time via push notifications. Users can also have access to download the PCA publications. One of the most dynamic and interactive features of the app is that users will be able to take photographs and record both video and audio of incidents they witness, and then upload them to accompany their report, all done from within the app. So let me repeat that, because to me that is the most important and most vital part of the app for the citizens, in that if you see anything happening regarding police officers and you think it warrants our attention, you can take a photograph of that. You can record both video and audio in real time, and then you can send it out up to our to the PCA app, and then we will receive it. If it's worthy of our attention, we will then dispatch our investigators one time.
Fantastic. That is going to be time saving and ensure a greater anonymity for our listeners, those who would like to submit. Are we following a proven model? You mentioned that we may be the first one in the world doing this. Is this that unique?
Yes, it is.
So we are breaking ground on this one.
Yes.
The expectation is that the PCA is going to be inundated with this application with a lot of people. How does the PCA ensure good use of resources in filtering for urgent matters, serious matters, and, quite frankly, trash?
Correct. Well, certain persons, as Mr. Nana will explain later, will receive the notification via email. We will then look at it, and the deputy director and I are always in constant contact, and we will be able to decide whether or not it warrants sending out a team.
I see.
We have met with our investigators and legal team and everybody who needs to be, and we have set out protocols for the quick response. So we have put things in place for Friday when the app is launched.
The distinctive voice of the director of the PCA, David West, is with me. Along with him came Ricky Nandlal. He is an IT administrator with the PCA. Ricky, very good morning to you.
Hi, good morning to you.
All right, let me get you on this microphone here. There we go. Ricky, through subnets and MAC addresses, access to information leaves concern about people remaining anonymous. Folks are very concerned about that. I love the app. It looks easy. I can put everything, but my safety I'm worried about because, folks oftentimes say, I'm not saying anything because I'm not getting involved in this. So here comes the question. Who has access to this information? What can you tell our listeners this morning to let them understand, Trinidad and Tobago, that they can follow this app, assist the PCA, and keep their privacy?
Okay. Confidentiality is one of our core values at the PCA, and this extends to the mobile app itself. All reports submitted via the app are secured and treated with the highest levels of confidentiality. On the IT network that we have, there's our internal protocols and policies to guide with confidentiality information. So the information comes in, the persons who are receiving this information is only receiving the vital information that's on the app, nothing in the background such as the IP address, the subnet mask, and so on. At that level, the IT personnel who manages that is the only person will have that level of access within the PCA. So we are limiting that information to only few persons.
There is a battle going on internationally, as you know, with regards to whether it be Facebook, Twitter, or anybody else, where the police would say we've got a valid reason to pursue that. The PCA may see a valid reason to pursue something like this. Is there anything in law that would allow them to go and ask of carriers and so on to get that information? While you say it is filtered to a certain level, the question is, if you saw something, if the PCA saw something, I think I should go to the director for this, something that's injurious to the public well-being via the act of a police officer, and you decide that you want to go and pierce that mask, as it were. What in law allows you to do that, if anything?
Well, I think the question you're asking, I may have misunderstood it, but if somebody wants to get onto our servers or get that information that we don't want to give out, you need a court order.
Let me rephrase then
Okay.
Let me be a little more accurate with, articulate with what I'm asking. Somebody gives a report to you.
Right.
It is a major breakthrough,
Okay.
something serious, and you decide, I need to get further information about this person, but they did not leave contact information. But it's a big deal. Can you, from a legal standpoint, pierce the shield of the submask, etc., and go and get that information by law?
No, I don't know of any method of doing it. The PCA would not be going further than the report we have received. If they don't want to come forward with further information, that's their right.
I'm insisting on this information because what we're trying to ensure is that we have a level of comfort for people to use this app and not feel that they can be traced?
Well, let me just give you an example. You can also submit your report anonymously to the PCA. Okay, there are two applications will pop up, I guess, if you want to call it. Submit with name and address or submit anonymously. If you choose to submit anonymously, it will remain anonymous. Okay, we are not going behind that. We respect your right to submit. That's why we're giving you the choice, and we will respect that.
IT director, administrator, let me ask you this question: who's in charge of the storage of this information?
The PCA is in charge of the storage of the information and has the sole access to the information. So we manage it, we maintain it, and we ensure that the system is up and with a level of integrity. We have our checks that we do internally to ensure this.
Let me just jump in there. That I know for a fact that we have spent a lot of money ensuring that we have paid in, we have protection for the any information coming into the PCA. I know Mr. Nandlal always comes to me to get updates for further. What's the word?
IT equipment.
IT equipment, and also to protection for our servers. And so we are well protected in that area.
Crossing and sharing information is always something that happens in protective service. And one of the things that raises a question is if the PCA has some information that the police would like to get access to, because it is a common purpose of defending the nation, and they request that information of you. Are you obligated under law to pass that to you? Do you have a sharing agreement? Are you, in fact, going to share any of the information given you with the police, for instance?
Well, we have no agreement with the police for sharing information because we are an independent body, as I always stress, and we don't answer to anybody regarding our investigations. It says quite clearly that in the statute. Now, if the person sends the email or the information on the app with his details, we will then have to contact that person and indicate whether or not he would wish us to share, to go with the police for further investigation. But only on rare circumstances can I ever see that we cannot do what the police can do. So we will take on that investigation and we will investigate it for ourselves because it came to us. The person trusts the PCA with its confidentiality, and the person came to the PCA. They did not go to the police with the complaint. Okay, so rest assured, that will only be a last resort, only with the consent and of the person making the complaint.
You are inside Brunch. It's 15 minutes after 10 o'clock. The voice you just heard is that the director of the PCA, David West, along with the IT administrator, who's also here, Ricky Nandlal. Mr. Director, let me continue. The whole relationship the police service is having with the public is one of the reasons we have the app. Let's speak of any other highlights that you want to share with our audience in understanding the ease of use and the question of their own protection that folks would find useful when they are going to use these apps. The comfort level.
Right. Well, I really implore all citizens to download the app when it's launched on Friday, 29th of September. The ease is everybody in Trinidad has a cell phone, and the app is available on both the Android and the iPhone. Okay, so it's free of charge. Okay, so you go into the Play Store and you just download it for free.
Oh, okay.
All right, and you get on the app, and then once you press the app, you will then see the different things you can do with the app. And because what I had envisaged with this app is that when the people see something happening, they can just press the app and download it and take the picture, take the photograph, even submit the complaint, and then they will once they submit the complaint, they will get a complaint number, and so we'll be able to track that number from the person who made the complaint. All right, and then we can when they call into the PCA or they leave their contact numbers, we can then call them to follow up on their complaint and what's happening.
Mr. IT Administrator, the size of files folks are uploading, is that a problem? Because a video file is a large file, and if they record something for a half hour and decide to upload that, what kind of problems are they going to have with that?
Definitely, it is a concern. We address that concern in our development stage. We were able to transcode, I'll use the word transcode, or break down the files or compress it, so it will send to the PCA. The original format on the phone does not change, and to ensure that persons are able to, and the app is available on the Android store, the Play Store, and the Apple Store. Both the Android, it's actually 4.4 and up, and for the Apple, on the Apple Store, the iOS 9 and up would be
that's 9 megabytes and
yeah.
4 respectively. Yes.
Yeah. So the app is free and it's free to download, and it's very useful. We have went through a number of testing phases to ensure that there isn't much bugs that are out there.
I am very excited about this. Yeah. I'm excited about this because we say all the time that the eyes and ears of the public is what has to twin with the protective services in order to bring things to some better resolution. The same applies to the behavior of police officers in all phases. Yes.
I mean, what I'm really hoping is that if somebody sees something, all right, but you see, the beauty of this is that they see something happening, we can get investigators there almost instantaneously. So we can actually oversee and supervise or oversee and what is happening with the public and the police. Okay, which is very important because many times we get it post. We get it from the media. They call us and say, did you know about X, Y, and Z? And say, no, we weren't told. Right? But now we will be there because somebody will be the eyes and ears of the PCA assisting us to be there and be on time to monitor what is going on.
I look forward to this app. This is really, we'll just repeat a couple of fast file listeners in a minute, but you just opened the door to a question I have with you. Very often folks are telling you, are you aware of so and so and so and so? The whole relationship between yourself and the police service, the Police Social Welfare Association, and the Professional Standards Bureau. These are entities that one would hope would remove duplicity in the case of the Police Standards Bureau. We were hoping that would remove duplicity by having the PC, and we were hoping that there would be, for a smooth transition and cooperation, an easier relationship with the Police Service Welfare Association. Let's talk about them. I asked Mr. Caesar the last time he was here, Mr. Caesar is the president of the Police Social and Welfare Association. If indeed the relationship had gotten better, he said, let us just say we have some more things to work on.
Well, you know, in any oversight body, and this is again what I got from the conference I went on recently, that even the oversight bodies in North America have they're teething problems with the police and the police unions. And we have the same thing in Trinidad. I mean, Mr. Seeds and I, we get along very well. We're cordial to each other, but we have different interests to serve, right? And once you have that happening, you know, once you respect each other and he respects me and I respect him, you know, we are doing our jobs. He's doing his job and I'm doing my job.
A healthy tension is what we're saying here.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing that obtains with the Professional Standards Bureau? For the
No, well, the Commissioner of Police, I have met with the head of the Professional Standards Bureau, and we talk, and we also, they send us notifications because we have met with the Commissioner of Police and we have put certain protocols in place, and the Professional Standards Bureau is abiding by that. I'm thankful for them for doing that, and it makes our job much more easier. So we have no issue at all with the Professional Standards Bureau.
Well, that's really important because I think at the end of the day, all will agree that you're after the same result.
Exactly. You know, and the Professional Standards Bureau has done a lot of good work in terms of sting operations regarding police officers. In their investigations, they have done a lot of good work also too. So, you know, they are a body that is living up to what they're supposed to do regarding the police.
Now, no one has any reason not to report something they see that's untoward. There is no reason to keep talking about it on the street without getting to the authority that's been set up to deal with it with this app. Let's remind them of the date it will be launched and how easy it is to download.
Well, the date is the 29th of September, Friday. We have to launch at the Hyatt. I think it's about 10 o'clock at the Hyatt on Friday.
On this coming Friday?
This Friday, yeah. Invitations were sent out to the media to attend because, again, you know, the media plays such an important role for us because they always call me and ask me, you know, did I know about X, Y, and Z, or did you hear about X, Y, and Z? And so they really inform us. And then, of course, the print media is where we get a lot of our news from. So the media is invited, and I wish and I hope all the media personnel and everybody would download this free app.
Indeed.
It's a wonderful way to, you know, to really use technology in a positive way, you know, and this is what we're hoping to do.
You say it's on both platforms, Mr. Nandlal, and folks simply go to where to download these things?
For the Android, you can go to the Play Store on your Android phone, And for the Apple, you could go to the Apple Store, which is the iOS 9 and above.
Look forward to it. I look forward to being down there on the 29th. In addition to, I look forward to people downloading this app. Folks can start downloading from when?
From Friday.
From Friday, not before. All right. As of Friday, you can go and download it, put it up there, and you're putting it there. Don't wait until you see something happening to put it there. Put it on there. And if you see anything happening, then you're ready to go.
Yes.
As it were.
And persons can also go to our Facebook page because they would have the instructions how to download, and also, we're trying to get, we know technology is taking over and we have to embrace it. And we have in the PCA, and we hope that persons really use this app because we really need them to be the eyes and ears of the PCA.
Just to adjust your tense a little bit, technology has taken.
Correct.
Over. Director David West, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this morning. It's always good to see you.
It's a pleasure, Mr. Bishop.
He generally is the embarrassment for me for not exercising. He spends most of the time in the gym. Did I say that? Oh, I didn't. And Mr. Nandlal, thank you so much for showing up too. You both have a wonderful day and happy Republic Day to both of you.